Stand-Up Comedy, your host and MC, presents Comedy Appetizers, a podcast where you will find short comedy sets, stories, and funny bits from the famous and not so famous. Here is your host and MC, Scott Edwards.
Hi, and welcome back to the podcast. We have something extra fun for you today. Recorded back in 1981, live on stage, Jerry Seinfeld. He's doing some great material about being a kid and dogs. But what's really fun is that Jerry was one of the regular acts at my club back in those days. In fact, he had just come out from New York, where he was part of the club, The Funniest Men in the Universe. He shared that title with Larry Miller, Mark Schiff, and Paul Reiser, and just an incredible group of funny guys. Jerry was one of the instrumental acts in the beginning of my club, Laughs Unlimited, and this recording will show you how funny he was then and still is now. Ladies and gentlemen, Jerry Seinfeld.
Thank you very much. There I was. 10 years old. I'm going to tell you my whole story. Right? 10 years old, and I had glasses. That's when I got them. And you know, when you're 10, people put things on your face, you leave it there. You're too busy trying to struggle through life to wonder about why this thing is on your face. I actually thought the reason that I was getting glasses was because I couldn't tell what my parents looked like. Because every time I asked my mother to buy me something, she'd say, "What do I look like? A bank?" But you know what? When you're 10, if you think about this, your parents are the bank anyway. I mean, that's the only place you can get money when you're 10. I mean, if I'm 10 years old, could I walk into Chase Manhattan? The teller's just going to say to me, "What do I look like? Your mother?" Hit the road, Four Eyes. Glasses, braces. Yeah, I survived growing up. It's not an easy thing to do, and I'm pretty proud of it. And I think that probably the next big moment of life that you have to, once you survive growing up, which we've all done, most of us, is to then the next step is to have your own kid. That's a big step. I don't know how people get to this point. Some people do. They get to that point in life. It's a major point. You know what I mean? I think you're at a certain level where everybody you know is pretty much caught on to you. You need to create a brand new person, someone that doesn't know anything about you. That's what kids are about, because you have a kid, the relationship is off to a great start. You give the kid food, toys, immediately they're very impressed with you. You've got a nice thing happening, but of course eventually they grow up, become intelligent, and leave the house. They realize you can get food and toys anyway. That's why a lot of people still get pets, because a dog will stay stupid. Dogs, that's why we love them so much. Their entire time that we know them, they're idiots. Think of your dog. Every time you come home, he thinks it's amazing. He has no idea how you accomplish this every day. You know what I mean? You walk in the door, the joy of this experience, it overwhelms him. He looks at you, "He's back, it's that guy. It's that same guy." He can't believe it. Everything is amazing to your dog. Another can of food? I don't believe it. I thought yesterday would be the last can for sure. You're wonderful. Dogs want to be people. That's what their lives are about. They don't like being dogs. They're with people all the time. They would like to be people. They want to graduate. My dog did. He would sit there all day and he would watch me walk by and he would think to himself, "I could do that. He's not that good." That's why the greatest, most exciting moment in the life of a dog is the front seat of the car. You and him in the front seat, he sits up there, he goes, "This is more like it. You and me together, this is the way it should be." You know, he tries to, what cracks me up is that he looks out the front. That That makes me laugh. Because he's a dog. What is he looking at? You mean? What are you going to make, a right or a left? I don't even know where I am. They have a hard time. You know, they stand up, they sit down. They can't handle the turns either way. No matter which way you turn, he's not ready. Hey, hey.
I know you enjoyed that. That was a funny set done by Jerry back in the early 80s. Just what's great about Jerry is he talks about stuff we can all relate to. We've all been kids. We've all seen dogs. It makes perfect sense. I know you enjoyed this short comedy set. Thanks for listening to the podcast. We'll be back next week with another great show. Bye.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Comedy Appetizers. Be sure to share with family and friends, and we will see you this Sunday for our regular podcast, your host and MC, and again next Friday for another episode of Comedy Appetizers. Bye!